Hey, what's up? Crowdflow. So Crowdflow is a project I'm working on. The idea is to simulate a bunch of agents in a physical space, right? I'm trying to use NVIDIA's Omniverse to I'm building an extension for NVIDIA's Omniverse, which is like an open source platform for like digital twins, like basically digital environments. So I'm trying to use that to kind of build the space where these agents would interact. And I think the motivation behind this project is really for two purposes. One is I love event planning, and that's been something I've been doing my whole life, whether it was in high school, middle school, college. It's really fun. You have a group of people you want to do something for, and you bring them and they do a fun thing together. And one of the biggest things with event planning is trying to figure out how to plan the physical space of the event, because a lot of small details actually do matter, like where you place the food, where you place the entrance, and all of that. Like that affects the flow of traffic. So that hence the name Crowdflow. So the idea is, let's say I have a really big event with tens of thousands of people, all with different motivations and goals. I would love to run different simulations of what people might do and what might be the best setup. So the idea would be you have 10,000 agents with different motivations and physical boundaries, and you see how they interact in different environments. Maybe one causes a lot of traffic. Let's say there is a career fair and you put Google, like that's the only big tech company there. You put Google all the way in the front, and that causes a lot of traffic in the front. That would be something that's not ideal. So I'd love to run simulations on that. The second thing is also for I don't know the proper terminology, so I'm just gonna spit it out of my mouth right now. For unfortunate situations where there is a armed individual attacking a large populace, right? So whether it be a mall, a school, wherever, you want to be able to see what's the ideal setup, because this large individual, this armed individual, may have purposes of their own, like harm as many people as possible. I think I was watching a TED talk a couple years ago about that. Just cause as much pain as possible. So their motivation would be what's the ideal location to cause as much pain. So you want to see, okay, what are different simulations? How can we best prepare for stuff like that? How can we prevent spaces, or if we can identify those spaces properly with different simulations, how can we put roadblocks in place? Maybe it's more guards in this location, right? So that could be for a festival. Maybe we can put more guards in this location, because this is like, from what we've seen with the extra insight we've gathered from these simulations, this will probably be the most ideal place to attack, right? So I think that'll be really interesting. I think something I've been asking myself is, how do these agents actually function? Is it just game thing? Because if you look behind it, right, you have this thing over here. So you have agent 1, 2, 3. I think it's like an MVP, or it's like a minimum version of this, where agent 1, 2, 3 all have different people they want to tag. So agent one wants to tag agent two, and agent two wants to tag agent three. Yeah, agent two wants to tag agent three, and agent three wants to tag agent one. Right, that's like the basic idea. So how do you kind of simulate that? I was wondering if it's like a game theory problem where it's like, okay, based on this, how would you simulate how which one happens? And it's obviously like that minimum three scales a bit more when you add like physical stuff. Like, okay, let's say agent one is close to this one, agent one is closer to agent two, and it doesn't want to get tagged, something like that. I think you get the idea. But I think it's exciting. I think it's a bit troublesome. I noticed that what I was doing initially was just like really just letting Copilot take the lead, and this person could, okay, accept, blah, blah, blah. So I decided I'm just going to take a step back and actually replan this out, because it's getting a bit tiring just running through bugs. And that's been like the only thing that's really slowing me down. So I actually like to like get my hands a bit more dirty. There's also the Howard hack for impacting, where I really want to push this thing forward. I don't know if I'll be able to have a full MVP by then, but hopefully I can. I think it's a really cool idea, and the more I work on it, the more exciting it becomes for those two applications I mentioned before. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. So besides that, I have nothing else to say. Besides, have a great day.